about that. Mighty University of San Diego Toreros were in the house. That's where I played my college hoops. They play Pacific tomorrow, so they're up here staying the night, and then they'll go down to Stockton tomorrow and get that dub. Sorry about that, UOP. If it was anybody else, I'd cheer for you because you're in the area, but right now it's all about the Toreros, baby. So it was great seeing them and Coach Lavin. So, man, great performance by our guys tonight. Obviously, Domas was huge with the triple-double, 17 rebounds, 10 assists, 17 points. Keegan was great. Kevin was good for us, a lot of deflections. I thought our bench was fantastic. You know, Malik has been really big for us off the bench, scoring basketball and sharing the ball. Davion was good. Trey was huge for us. He knocked down some big shots. I thought Sasha came out and played really well. The same with Alex. So it was a complete team effort on both ends of the floor. And I just felt defensively our guys did a nice job of flying around. And you know, we did a great job contesting shots and then finishing shots as well. So really big win. I thought Fox defensively, this was probably one of his better defensive games. And you know, you got a guy like Jamal Murray out there. He's tough for anybody, but you know, the way Fox was up into him and trying to make it difficult for him was deserving of him getting the defensive player of the game. He had 5 steals or 6 steals, whatever it is, 5 or 6 steals, and had a lot of deflections. So heck of a night on the defense end of the floor from Foxy. Big night for him.
Mike, we got to see Fox and Monk out here together and sort of the joy of a win like this. How do you bottle that and try to carry that over, especially after a tough loss on Wednesday?
You know, I told our guys it was real brief in there because I was going to see my University of San Diego Toreros. But the one thing I told them, I said, man, I believe in you guys. You guys have a chance to be great. And, you know, it shouldn't take a loss like we had for us to lock in like we did tonight. You know? And so I said, it's up to us to lock in, focus on the small details, and go out there and perform for 48 minutes from start to finish. And if we do, we'll be happy where we are at the end of the year.
Mike. Oh, sorry. Yesterday you had just mentioned that, you know, there wasn't really much of the game plan that needed to be changed because guys didn't really do their jobs. Was this sort of better of a sample of what you wanted, and what specifically on the defensive end did you like out of the games tonight?
For sure. This is what we're capable of. Now, and I've said this before, we're not going to play at the highest level every single time we step on the floor, even if it's against a quote-unquote team that doesn't have a good record. But you can still try to play the right way and give the maximum effort while focusing on the little details, doing the little dirty things. And I thought tonight we did that. For instance, there's a loose ball right in front of our bench. Fox was the first one on the ground. Didn't come up with it by himself, but at least he got his hand on it. Jump ball situation, we win the tip. They hit a couple of early threes because we didn't close out the right way. Then we started closing out the way that we're supposed to. And once we started hipping guys at that three-point line, especially their hot shooters, it was a different ball game. And those little details are the things that are some of the things that have hurt us in the past, because we're not necessarily doing what we should be doing and what we know how to do, what we're capable of doing. And if our guys do that, like I said, the sky's the limit for this group, because I even said before the game, our offense is going to be fine. We're going to be able to score enough points to win most nights. Can we get enough stops to win? which is what this league's about, especially come playoff time.
Mike, this is more of a question about Keegan. You talked about how great he was tonight, and I was curious, coming off the last game and maybe even some recent games on the offensive end, maybe he doesn't take as many, maybe as assertive on the offensive end, taking shots and so forth. I wonder, do you sometimes have to pry that out of him? Do his teammates try to pry that out of him, or do you kind of let him kind of do his thing and feel it out?
We try to let him feel it out because, there's a lot of people that have suggestions for Keegan as a young guy, but he's just like any player. Sometimes players go through some slumps and they may get in their own way at times. And, especially young guys, you just keep reminding them how great he can be and how great he is, especially where he is in his career right now. So Keegan, he's going to be fine at the end of the day. He just puts a lot of pressure on himself, and he knows that. I told him, I said, if I see those shoulders slump and you drop your head, you're coming out the game. I said, I don't care what you do. The best players, the greatest players that I've been around, they got a short memory. And I've seen some guys throw the ball in the stands 2 or 3 times in a row and still go get 50 and not even remember the last mistake that they made. And he's got to get to that point where he really believes. He's on his way.
Mike, Fox has, I think, 21 steals in the last 5 games. How would you characterize the leap that you're seeing from him defensively, and is it on par? Is it close to what you've seen from Keegan this season?
So the first thing is, he tonight, his steals were really good because they didn't hurt us. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a huge steal guy. If you can get a steal without being out of position defensively, I'm all for it. Because most guys, when they go for steals, they may go hypothetically for 6 steals during the course of the game, but you're probably only going to get 2. That means the other 4 that you missed, you lunged, and now you're out of position, and they have a 5-on-4. So as long as he's doing, which he did a great job of tonight, without putting his team in a predicament, then I'm awesome with it, because that's what he's capable of doing. He's got some of the quickest hands, and his arms are long, but has some of the quickest hands that I've ever been around. And that's what I liked about tonight. His attempts did not hurt us. And as long as he keeps doing that, we're going to be good. Keegan is more of a position defender. He's not going to get steals. He's just going to put his body in front of you. He's going to be physical. But the one thing he's got to continue to try to do is be physical with his chest and not lead with his forearms. Because right now the officials are calling it. Not always a foul, but because he's a young guy, he's going to get dinged with a call or 2 here unless he gets to the point where he's just physical and leading with his chest and then going vertical when it comes time to challenging a shot.
Coach, you talked about the improvement on the closeouts on the 3, but you also seem to frustrate Nikola Jokic a lot with the physicality in the paint. Was that part of the game plan as well?
Yeah, he's obviously a great player, multiple time MVP. You have to be physical with him, but you have to do your work early and you have to show your hands. You really got to lead with your chest, because as soon as he feels the slightest bump, he's the head snap back, and he really is really good at selling fouls. And you got to give him different looks. You can't give him the same look all night, because he's obviously one of the greatest. And so Domas at the point of attack did a heck of a job trying to make him work. And then we threw a lot of different types of double teams at him, and just hope and pray that he missed, or when he kicked it out, our rotations were good enough to not allow any clean looks, and our guys did a really good job of trying to execute the game plan. Jordy was phenomenal coming up with the game plan. I thought our guys did a good job executing it.
2 more.
Yeah, Mike, Alex Len came in and played really, really well. He's done that quite a few times this year. When you go big, and you're not going big every game, especially coming up, is he going to get more of an opportunity, or are you still leaning towards JaVale?
No, those guys, no. So there was a stretch where I was going every couple of games, and if we were winning, that guy would still continue to roll, because they both have done well for us throughout the course of the year. And then Len had a nice stretch for us. And then he started getting dinged with offensive fouls and some other things, and so I said, okay, I'm gonna go back to JaVale. And then JaVale had a pretty good stretch. I think we were 6-2, and the tough part about it is there were a couple of games JaVale didn't play because we went small. And so I want to make sure that each guy continues to get opportunities when it's warranted. And so, I said, hey, I'm going to give JaVale an opportunity tonight because Denver would probably be big. And I just felt that it was time at halftime, it was time to make the move to Alex. And so Alex will get an opportunity now for a little bit. And we'll see when it needs to be changed again from there.
Yeah, Coach, on your back right over here. A little more on Alex and JaVale. Just what differing skill sets do you feel like they have, and what are their varying strengths?
JaVale's length is something that you can't really teach. He's extremely long, and he's a really, really good vertical threat in the pick and roll with Malik. He gets in and out of screens very, very well. Alex, on the other hand, probably could play the DHO game a little bit better, and he sets a different screen. He's more of a screen setter and a late roller than JaVale, and so he's going to clean up a lot of stuff on the offensive glass when the shot goes up, or he might get a late dunk pass because he's diving late behind, not necessarily a vertical threat. And then defensively, JaVale's going to challenge more shots. Alex is going to go vertical and use a level of physicality when he goes vertical when it comes to challenging shots. But they both bring something good to the table. And, I want to keep them both engaged because they both can help us at different times.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank y'all.